Hello, 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 and welcome to our Let's Chat, which is on Tuesdays and Thursdays here. I am Carol C.C. Miller, your positive impact coach, peace activator, and global hugger. Let me know where you're joining me from in this big, beautiful, and messy world that we live in. I am coming to you from Chicago. It is, well, it's kind of sunny, a little overcast, nice spring day here in the city. And I hope wherever you're joining me from, it is a nice day as well. So I wanted to talk today about all of our conversations that we have here are in heightening celebrations and lessening sorrows through a positive focus, because I'm a firm believer in positivity, not meaning everything is rainbows and unicorns, although that would be fabulous. It is about finding those little gems and joys in our challenges that we go through, and really loving up and appreciating when things are going well in our life, because it's easier, I should say, to be happy and positive when things are going well compared to when we're in our challenges. So let me see. It looks like Facebook, thank you, Facebook, is showing me comments today. Good morning, Mindy and Stacia from where at in Wisconsin. How close are we, Stacia? Good morning, Lisa. Good to see you guys here. And so if you're joining me for the first time, a good reminder is I'm not a big believer in always or never, the absolutes. I've done things in my life that I said I would never do. So I try to lessen the times I use those words. They do pop up. And because I have a daily practice of not using them, when I do say them, it's like bells go off in my head, like, you just said never. So you may catch me saying those from time to time, but I try to live on a scale of 0 to 100. And 0 being the never kind, never loving, never compassionate, never peaceful. And the 100 being always loving, always kind, always peaceful, and always compassionate. I don't personally believe there's a human being that exists that is 100% that all the time. The Dalai Lamas of the world and those type of people, maybe your mom, are in the really high numbers. I try to stay within the 80 to 100 frame of kindness, love, compassion, and peace. Pretty good at doing it because I've made it a daily practice for a long time, but I still am not it all the time. And I catch myself when I fall below that 50 quicker because of my daily practices. But please know, anything I share with you, there's not going to be you have to do it this way, you shouldn't do it this way. It's an invitation to look at and see what fits for you and what works for you. If it works, give it a try. If it doesn't work, let it go. But it's really about finding your place and your way to navigate through life. And the more you can stay above the 50 on being positive and appreciating life and kind, compassionate, peaceful and loving, the easier and more grace-filled your life is going to be. Below 50 does not mean you're wrong, does not mean you're a bad person. It just means you're going through a challenge right now. And you can figure out ways to lessen that challenge by focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want. So I hope that makes sense. So for any newbies here, welcome. I'm grateful to have you. But I do think it's important to know, because sometimes people go into that it has to be this way or it can't be this way. And that's just not the way I live. There's very few things I can think of that it has to be that I live from. I do think of the majority of time I want to be happy. The majority of time I am in that space, but it doesn't have to be that kind of expression. So hope that makes sense to you. And today what I wanted to focus on, good morning, Roberta. Hoffman Estates, you're not too far from me. I am in, I was going to say my old neighborhood. I am in Uptown in Chicago. I used to live in River North, but you're down the highway from me a bit. So it's good to see you here. But I wanted to talk today about intention. And what does intention mean to you and intentional living mean to you? I think we can get stuck on when we intend things, and we intend big things, and intend for perfection and everything always working out. And sometimes we make it more difficult than it needs to be. So the definition of intention is what one intends to do or bring about. I like to work with affirmations. So I'm going to give you an affirmation to work with. And if you're not familiar with affirmations, they are to help reprogram unconscious thoughts that we have lived with from forever. So we might have picked up some things that our parents said to us, teachers said to us, friends said to us that are unconsciously in our system that we don't even know we're using to make decisions with, because it's unconscious, but it's still been there. So an affirmation is to help reprogram that. So the affirmation for today is, I go through my day intent on giving and receiving love. For your affirmation, you want it to be believable. So let's say right now you're in a place where you're just angry. You're not receiving love. You're not giving love. You're angry. So I would encourage you, instead of saying, I go through my day intent on giving and receiving love, because immediately if I'm in a state of anger, I'm like, no, I don't. I'm mad right now. And guess what? It's okay to be mad. There's not a right or wrong about it. It's how long you want to spend your time in it. So I would go with, I'm in the process of going through my day giving and receiving love, because that's more believable. Like right now, I'm not doing that, but I'm in the process of stepping into it. So think about ways that you can step into being a little bit more gentle with yourself, even with your affirmations. And then the quote I was going to use today is, our intentions create our reality, Wayne Dyer. And I think it's really important to think about that, because when you get up in the morning, we can go on autopilot. It's Tuesday. It's not a lot different than the day before. It's not a lot different than what tomorrow's going to be. I get up, I eat breakfast, I go to work, I come home, I eat dinner, might watch some TV, go to bed. And if we stay in that space of letting life lead us rather than us lead life, it can feel every day as the exact same. But when we live with intention, when we get up every morning intending how we want our day to go, and it could be big things of intention of wanting, to meet new people in the day, but it could simply be, I intend to be happier today. I intend to be calmer today. I intend to let myself lead this day. I intend to feel more peaceful today. I intend to surround myself with people who want peace for themselves. So it doesn't have to be a big intention of, I intend to get 15 things on my to-do list done. It could be, I intend to really appreciate today for just being today. So whatever you're setting your intentions for, let that be your guide through the day. Let your intention of having an exciting day be intentional on how you want your day to go, rather than maybe you don't like Tuesdays. One of my clients, Tuesday is her hardest day of the week with her job. So we work on intending for that Tuesday to go smoother than it did. Like that worked out better than it did before. Because if you're going Monday night, you're going to bed thinking Tuesday's going to be awful, Tuesday's going to be super busy, Tuesday's going to be overwhelming, Tuesday's going to be anxiety filled, you're setting the plate for it to be all of those things. If you go into your Tuesday thinking, I'm going to intend for it to be calmer than I think it can be, that's allowing it to still be a little chaotic. Because if you say you're intending it to be calm, but you're going to have some really hard conversations or meetings in the day, your head is already telling you, no, it's not going to be calm. I've got XYZ meetings coming up this afternoon. They're going to be hard. So if you go into it saying, I intend for today to be calmer than expected, or more peaceful than expected, or more loving or kind, then you're allowing in grace and ease for it to be just more gentle than what you were intending it to be before. I really, really encourage you. Probably one of the things that I'm going to say always to, and I'm not even going to say always, the majority of the time, if you can be a little bit more gentle with yourself, then you're going to allow even bigger and better in, because we tend to be our worst enemies, and we tend to focus on what we're not doing right more than what we focus on what we are doing right. So I encourage you to think about today, right now. It's 11:40 Tuesday morning here in Chicago. What's your intention for this afternoon? Or if you're in Europe, what's your intention for this evening? If you're, what is your intention for right now? How do you want to move forward? Maybe you join me on this live feeling really sad. And guess what? It's okay. There's nothing wrong with feeling really sad. It's how long do you want to give your attention, your intention to that? Little steps forward to feeling a little bit better, a daily practice of feeling a little bit better. You're going to start seeing signs, and you're going to start having experiences that bring more joy and happiness to your life rather than being steeped in that sadness. Sadness isn't wrong. Anger isn't wrong. Frustration isn't wrong. All of those emotions are there for you. You get to decide how long you're going to give your attention to them and your intention to them. Sometimes, if it's a really hard situation, it's hard to look away from hard, but you can just be a little more gentle with yourself in that experience. Maybe think about experiences you've had in the past that were really hard, that once you got on the other side of it, you could see the gem within it. There's many things that have happened in my life that in the moment were not fun. I wish didn't happen, but because they happened, I am who I am today. I don't want to repeat those experiences, but I can find gratitude for moving through those experiences. Does that make sense? That even though it's something you don't want to happen again, if you're able to find the little gem of why it happened, and knowing that it made you to who you are today, and who you are today, you're like your molded clay, and you get to decide who you are tomorrow. How exciting is that, to know that I can intend to be a little nicer to myself tomorrow, this afternoon. I can intend to be a little more joyful in the world tomorrow. I can intend to be a little bit more dedicated, committed, responsible. There's so many things that you get to decide for yourself when you're aware of how you feel and how you want to show up in the world. Because it's really easy to go on autopilot and let the world show up for you, and then you just kind of follow along. But with intention and attention to your intention, you get to decide what's going on in your life, and you get to decide, even in the hard spots, because we all have them, that it doesn't have to be as painful as it might feel in this moment. Things happen in our lives that are painful. I'm not going to tell you that pain is going to go away, but I am going to tell you, the more that you work on it, don't have to suffer through the experience. You can move through it with just a little bit more gentleness, a little bit more grace and ease, and a little bit more intention of how you want to feel rather than how you might be feeling in this moment. So the word of the day is intention. And to live intentionally, you can make it big and bold and beautiful, and intend to be living in this house, with this relationship, with this car, with these vacations, or you can intend to be peaceful, or more peaceful, happier, gentle. It's not a right or a wrong. It's where you are right now. Set intentions that feel doable, that feel good to you. If the intention of living in a penthouse is something that you want, but then when you immediately set that intention, it doesn't feel good, because right now maybe you're living in a studio apartment or something like that, then go with something that feels good and move forward from there. It's not a right or a wrong. It's just what feels better to you moment by moment. And I promise you, the more you work on it, when you're feeling good, you're not going to want to hurt other people or yourself, because it takes you out of that space. There's probably the people from the 0 to 2 on my 100 chart, maybe they actually feel good when they're harming themselves or other people. But the vast majority of us don't feel good when we're hurting ourselves or when we're hurting other people. So set your intention to feel just a little bit better than you felt the day before. Just a little bit better than maybe you felt. Maybe you woke up in a bad mood today. Set the intention just to feel a little bit better. So I would love to know what your intentions are for the rest of today, or if there's something big you want to intend. I'm happy to be here to support you on striving for those. That's one of the things we work on when I'm coaching is what's your intention? What the person that I was talking about, the Tuesdays, our intention every Tuesday is that it goes smoother than it did before. And it's been working for her because her Tuesdays, that's when she sees most of her clients. So it's really busy, stress-filled days, but it doesn't have to be as stressful. It could be the exact same day. She still has lots of clients to work with, but she is setting the intention to meet that day with a little bit more grace, a little bit more gentleness, a little bit more excitement to see if, like, I get to see all these different people that I don't see other days. So your intention of how you want to be, how you want to feel, and how you want to show up, I think is so important on living a happier, healthier life. So let me see if anybody's sharing some of their intentions. Please do. I do want to say, I don't know what Thursday's topic is going to be yet, but I do know on Saturday, I am doing a special live, same time, 11:30 on compassion, because I'm involved with a project with Sunny Dawn Johnston, who, if you know me, you know how much I love her. She actually, she does a live off the cuff Monday through Fridays, which I asked her several weeks ago now to go ahead and share on Positive Focus too, because I just think so highly of her and the work that she's here to do in the world. So she has a new card oracle deck called Multidimensional, and I am doing one of the cards, which is on the 22nd, which is Kuan, oh my goodness, don't want to say it wrong, Kuan Yin, and she's all about compassion. So we're going to talk more about compassion, which is one of my guiding principles, on Saturday. So I hope you come join me. I'm going to have a few friends in and discuss what compassion means to us and how we can be a little bit more compassionate to ourselves and others when they're going through hard times. So let me see here what people are saying. I love having you join me. Uma, thank you for the rose. That's so pretty. Hey, Erica, so good to see you. Thank you. I lost these glasses for a while. I thought they fell out of my car and they were way under my seat. I found them last week. I was so happy because they're my favorite glasses. Watertown. I'm not sure where Watertown is, Cece. I'll have to look that up. Lisa, right now my intention is to accomplish tasks that I wanted to get done before surgery next month. Good, not to set unrealistic goals. So it might even be something as seeing the important things, and that's one of the things that I work with clients. If they have a lot to do, focus on the things that matter get done today. Because your list may have 100 things and you want to get 100 things done today, but it's really unrealistic. So just start focusing on the things that are important that need to be addressed, I take care of today. And the other things will fall into place tomorrow. And sometimes they get taken care of on their own and you don't even need to be the one who takes care of them. So know that you have support out there that you can ask for as well and work from there. But the more you're gentle with yourself in the process, and wishing you great luck on that surgery. I will definitely keep you in my thoughts. So I know you're part of my Embrace Your Life community. So let us know in there how we can support you through it as well. So I'm done for today. My intention is to keep my heart open. Ooh, Roberta, that is a beautiful intention, because it's really easy when we're sad, frustrated, angry, hurt, to close up our heart. And guess what? You can keep your heart open and still experience grief. You can keep your heart open and still experience anger. It's when we close our heart down, it's when we're not allowing in. We think we close our heart down to keep out the bad, but we're also keeping out the good. So when you practice keeping your heart open and knowing that what's coming is for you and being able to see it from a heart-centered perspective rather than a grief or anger perspective, and how dare you do this. I hope you join me on Saturday, Roberta, because keeping your heart open is all about compassion and about mercy and knowing we're all walking different aspects of our lives, and we can still have compassion without agreeing with other people. We can still have mercy without knowing what their experience is. So I love that intention, Roberta, keeping my heart open. So I'm going to leave you with that on a heart-filled, open, kind, gentle, loving day. Oh, you're so very welcome, Stacia. I'm happy to be here. I will be here again on Thursday. I have not said that yet. If there's something specific you would like me to share and talk about on these Tuesday, Thursday conversations, happy to do so. I do know that I still owe you a conversation around anxiety, so maybe I'll do that on Thursday. So, but we'll definitely be here to talk about anything that can help heighten your celebrations and lessen your sorrows through a positive focus, because we have celebrations going on and we have sorrows going on. There's somebody welcoming in a new life today. There's somebody saying goodbye to a love today. There's somebody getting married today. There's somebody getting divorced today. Somebody's getting a new job today. Somebody's losing their job today. It's all there for us, and we get to decide how we're going to embrace it. Embracing it doesn't necessarily mean we love it, but it does mean that we're going to be gentle and kind through the process. So we'll talk again very soon, Thursday for sure, Saturday again, and I hope you all have a great day. So keep in mind, you matter to me, you matter to the world, and most importantly, you matter to you. So we'll talk soon. So long for now.